And I hope everyone can see, right? Yeah. So now we got to understand, right, like what are the things which we discussed on the last session, right? What is the class and what is object and what are the types of variables and what are the different types of methods which we have. So any questions regarding in the complete topic? So about the complete class or like object, how to, what is like object and like what are the variables which we have. Any questions or any doubts in that you can ask me. If no questions, then we'll go for the next topic. Yeah. So the next topic is of inheritance, guys. So let's see what are the objectives which we have, like what is inheritance and types of inheritance and what is MRO, and one is a super class, like super keyword is that. So these are things which we'll discuss in this inheritance chapter. Yeah. First of all, inheritance, just generally not talking about this programming wise. Inheritance means can I say that in Telugu, right? Varasatvam. The same way inheritance is like just coming like this way. So creating new classes from already existing class is called inheritance, guys. Suppose you have parents, right? Like you can see some features which is similar to your father, like mother, right? The same way in programming also we have multiple classes, and we can use those methods, variables which are already existing ones, and we'll create the new class. We can just implement like getting the new feature, like same features from the parent class. So that is called inheritance, guys. Now let's see like some definitions about that. So the existing class that is called super class or base class or parent class. So the existing ones already. The new class which we are going to create, that is child or derived or subclass. So that means he is a derived child, means like he is coming from his parents, right? That is called derived. Inheritance allows subclasses to inherit the variables, methods, and constructions of this superclass. Yeah, these are the like from your parents, you're getting all the features, right? The same way here, from superclass, which you already existing ones, we can get the variables and methods and everything. We'll just see using this inheritance. Let's see some small example, then you will understand easily. So from today, I'll just use this Notepad++. If you want, I'll tell you at the end like how to install this one as well. Okay, now you guys know that how to create a class. Now from now on, this one is super ABC. So I'll just take it, like class name like this. So let me save this until it won't show you up anything. Desktop, Python scripts, class. This, oops, yeah, okay. Inheritance concept. Yeah, see. Now we're using class keyword and super class. Now let me create some class variables, guys. This is super class variable. Simply I created only one class and one variable. So now to access this variable, we have to create an object, right? Then only we can use this class variable into another class, right? So I'm just going to create object equals to super ABC, this one. So now just create the object. Now print obj dot, what is the variable? Now this is a static or class variable, so which we are creating inside of the class only. Sometimes I watch Amrutam, guys. 24. Okay, new class. Oops. Okay. See, it is just printing the same variable. That is a class variable. Now, if I want to, sorry, every time I'm opening this one. See, if I want to use this variable into another class, so how I can do that? So we can use this inheritance concept. Now let's see. I'm just going to close this one. So now this was normal superclass and this one is superclass variable. Now I'm going to create one instance methods, guys. My function one. Is superclass method. So now it's just simply, now assume this is your father, like our parents, and these are our features. So this one is very variable and this one function, right? These are like our features, like parents features. Now, sub are like child ABC. Now, earlier you have seen that we can simply create a class right here. The parents is optional. For function it is mandatory, but creating a class is optional, right? Now we can use this parentheses here. Why? Because we have to use the existing variables or methods which are present in the superclass. So for that, just open the parentheses, and here you need to pass the class name. What is the which is already existing one? This is the one, right? Just ABC. Now it is just like inheriting. That means getting taking the features. Now in this, I'm just going to create one more function, that is function 2. This is child class method. Now, earlier we were creating some object for one class, right? Like to get the methods or like to get the variables. Now here, I just created one subclass, this one, like one class that is inheriting this one from the super class. So we're just inheriting that. So now I'm going to create object to this class only, that is sub ABC, and I'm going to use that object to print. I like to call this method, which is already present in the super class. ABC, my object dot. Now what is the function over here? My function. See, as soon as it is coming automatically. No. See, it is printing this one. I'm not calling this function, so this one. But this class, I didn't create any object. But how can I can call this method? Yeah, see, this one. Whenever you simply pass the class name instead of this another class, it is like inheriting. Now you can get everything which is in this class. We have variables, it could be, or like methods also, everything. And constructor also, that one we'll see later. For now, we're just talking about the methods. So this about just single inheritance, guys. Now see. Conclusion. In inheritance, all variables and methods by default available to child classes as well. Suppose if you don't have anything here, simply now guys remember pass this one, pass keyword. So now we can use this one over here. Simply if you just leave it like this, it will throw error. So instead of giving any print statement, I'm just simply giving pass this one on just keyword. Now guys working right. So this is like we can get all the features in this subclass if you don't have anything also. This is about this point. See, in inheritance, all variables and methods by default available to child classes, which is inheriting from the superclass. So what is the advantage of this inheritance? Let's see. The main advantage of inheritance is code reusability. Suppose today you have developed like one small script that is having some class and some function. There is some functionality like adding two variables. And later after 10 days, you don't need to create again. Simply create some object to a class or just inherit that directly and you can use it, right? The same way that is called code reusability. You don't need to create it again. And application development time is very less. Sometimes while you're developing any features of any application, this code reusability will help you to no need to create the same code again and again. And repetition of the code is reducing. That means we are reducing the time of that and code reducing that also. So these are the advantages of inheritance. Note, in Python by default superclass name is object, guys. Now suppose this one. This is like now if you create any object to this subclass, we are inheriting this one, right? Now this superclass also will act like as object, but it won't create anything, but it will act like an object. See, in Python by default superclass name is object. And how to implement is inheritance. Let's say while declaring subclass, we need to pass superclass name into subclass parentheses. So what we're doing here, just simply place any class name over here. Now we can access all the methods and variables from the superclass. Now, what are the types of inheritance which we have? So we have three types of inheritance, guys. One is single inheritance and multi-level and multiple inheritances. Now let's see what is single inheritance. Creating a subclass from a single superclass is called single inheritance. This is the one best example. Okay, sorry, this one. So here we have only one class and here only one subclass. Now we're just simply inheriting, that is here. Now this is called single inheritance. See the diagram, you can see. So now this is superclass and this is the derived from A. So with child class object, we can access parent and child class properties. Suppose, let me create only one variable here. Result equals to, this is child class variable. Know how to print my, guys remember like how to call the class variables. Either we can use object or else we can use class name as well. So let me use object dot result. See, it is printing this one. This child class are variable. So this is just variable. So just printing that variable. So we can use this way. This is called single inheritance. By default, parent class properties are available to the child class. All properties, everything. Either it could be variables or methods. So this is about single inheritance. Now let's see. Okay, let it be. This could be a single inheritance. Now this example is fine. Now coming to multi-level inheritance. Suppose your grandfather is there, right? From grandfather, you might get some features to your father to yourself. So this is called multi-level inheritance. That is called tree or like hierarchy, we call it. This is called multi-level inheritance. So a class is derived from another derived class is called multi-level inheritance. And with child class object, we can access parent and child class properties. By default, parent class properties are available. Okay, last line will be the same. Like first, like second, third line will be the same. Just see that only the first level one, the first point. A class is derived from another derived class is called multi-level inheritance. Now let's see. For now, I'll just comment this one. I'm going to use the same example. This is super. That means our grandfather. Okay. This is super. Now this is sub super class. Now I'm going to create my sub ABC. Now you don't need to pass this variable, guys, directly here. So we can use this class because this super class is already deriving from here. Okay, let me give here. See, it is now we are inheriting to this one. Now all the properties, that means all methods will present inside this class, right? Now we can simply use this one. Yeah. Now just like our grandfather, our father, and us, just like this. My multi-level are like hierarchy. Okay, now this is sub class. Suppose let me create my object. I'm just going to create object to my this subclass, that is us, sub ABC. Now sorry, my object dot, what is this methods do we have, my function. So it is just superclass. So that means we are not creating object to any this. So we are just creating, sorry, we're not creating object to this. We're just creating only object to this sub child class, right? So, and this one, this superclass is inheriting to here. And now we are inheriting this one here in the sub child class. So this is, now we can just create object to only this one. And we can just simply use this object to call any method and any every variable. So this is like multi-level. So it is like hierarchy. That is a tree, you can call it. And we have one more last inheritance is multiple inheritance. So child class is derived from multiple superclasses is called multiple inheritance. Now just assume A is your mother and B is your father. Now we can get sometimes both features, right? This is called multiple inheritance. So, okay, sorry. Let me create class, other class. Sorry. I'm just giving only variable for now. And later we'll see like if we have same constructor and same methods and like super keywords and all, we'll discuss. Father class. Yeah, now we had two classes and let me create one more class that is class sub like child class. So here, how you need to pass the class names here. In the parentheses, we have to pass the mother class like this the names. Mother class, comma, and father class. Like how you're passing some parameters to the function, right? The same way here, using comma, we have to specify the class names. Now, pass. So I'm just giving only pass. I'm not giving anything here. So I'm just going to create object equals to child class. No, print. What is that object dot where to? So now it is just printing father class. Suppose now these are the just multiple types of inheritance. Now let's see the actual examples from here now. I'll just comment this one, guys. Now we got to understand like multiple inheritance. What are those? Now I'm going to use like if we have multiple constructors and multiple methods and all. Let me take the same example. See here. Suppose here I created one superclass and one subclass, right? So here, if I just pass the same variable, so now superclass we have one variable called that is var. This is superclass, right? So here also in subclass also this one in child class also we have same variable, and here this variable whenever you create any object and if you call this variable here it will be override. So here what is this one only var, right? Okay, let me see. Here I'll just give only one for now. Here let me change var. Okay, I don't want to call function now. I'm just trying to print only the class variables. It is like superclass. Now, if both so like parent class and child class having same types of variables, it will first take the child class variable first. So wherever if you call any variable here, any variable or any function using object name, first it will search in this child class. If doesn't any like suppose if that variable or that function is not present inside this child class, then only it will go and check in this like parent class. Now this variable is already present here, so that's why it is printing first. Suppose here we have var1, and if we call that variable, now it will first it will search here this one, it will search in this subclass. If it is not present, then only it will go to your superclass that is called parent class. Is about just variables. So and okay, this is fine. This is about only variables. Now comes to the constructor we have. So I'm going to create one constructor. So by default itself is the parameter for that. Print, sorry, print superclass constructor. See now, when the constructor will be called, guys, remember that when the constructor will be called. If we create an object tab, that time only the constructor will execute. Now let's see. We have one constructor and one variable and one function in this superclass. Now, in this subclass, we're just inheriting, that is, we are using that one, and we have only one variable. Now, if I just call this one, whether the constructor will execute or not, any guess? Any guess whether it will print the constructor? That means whether it will execute the constructor or not. Is executing, because here in the child class we don't have any constructor. That's why only it is calling this constructor. So why means sometimes, just take some random examples like Amazon web database only. For to connect to the database, we need username and password. So those details will give this constructor in username, password, and the database IP address also. We'll give all these details in this constructor. Once the database is connected, we'll just take that object. So everything object only will be there in the Python. So we'll take that object in this constructor, and we will use this constructor in the child class to get the data from the database. Either it could be username or like any products or like price, these things and all. So the constructor, suppose in your child class the constructor is not present, then only this will work. Sorry, this constructor will work in the parent class. Now let's see. Suppose here I'm going to create again the same thing. Now we have both child class constructor. See, first it is like asking this one, like it is this constructor is executing, but this one where it is going. So when you first it will verify the constructor where it is in. If it is not present, then only it will go to in this here. Then only it will go here. But I told you in this constructor we are creating the database object. But if this constructor is not callable, then how we can call this constructor? Because we are we are giving some database details, right? Once it is connected, then only I can get the data from the database. But if it is not executing this one, means how I can do that? Means this way, to overcome this solution, we have one keyword that is called super. Super of keyword is there. Then if you use that one, then only this constructor also will be executed. Let's see. Here inside this child constructor, if you just simply pass one keyword, that is super, this one just keyword, and we have to call like this. Super is a keyword, but we have to call this super of parentheses, this one. Now super dot, and what is the constructor? This one. So we just simply give the name. Now, okay, let me take two variables, guys. Not where. A comma B. In this parent class, I'm just in the constructor, I have two variables, that is username and password. Now I want to initialize that self A dot equals to A, self B dot to B. So now assume, okay, A is password and B is A is the username and B is password. Now I'm going to print, instead of connecting, we don't have any database for now, self dot A comma self dot B. So I'm just trying to print only this one. So now if I just use this super keyword, first it will execute this constructor and it will construct this one. Now in this constructor, we have two variables, right? We need to pass. So while calling super of here init, we have to pass values. Like how you will have values here, right? Like suppose, yeah, in this child class, I'm going to create one variable, that is ABC dot ABC equals to ABC, because we are creating the instance variable. Now print self dot ABC. Sorry. Here, if we have only one variable, right? Now let me take hello. Now let's see, guys. Here we need to pass two parameters. Why? Because in this super constructor, that means super class, we have constructor and it is taking two variables. So wherever using super keyword after the constructor name, we have to pass the values. See, first, now let's see how it is working. First, it is printing 5 and 6. Then come here. So whenever we create object, so here we are creating object to this class. Then it will come here in this class. Then it will go to the constructor. Before executing anything here, first it will check the constructor. So what constructor it is doing? So constructor, it is called ABC values hello. Now it will ABC value is hello. It will be placed. Now the next line is super of. Super means what is the super class we have used? It will go here and it will execute this constructor. Now a value is 5. What is the value? 5 comma 6 we are given right now. We are just printing self a self b. This one, see, we are printing this one. You got the first right. So see that how the flow is going. That means code execution is how it the step by step it is going. The next, once it is done, so we have printed everything from this super constructor, right? Now it will come here. So now we are initiating that value. Now after that we are just printing, that is hello, it is printing. Now this super class is because we, after object creation is done, we are printing the some variable that is from the super class. This fine. Now just look at this only two constructors, this one. When you have constructors in both classes, like how the flow is going and how to import that super class constructor using this super of. So this is about just single inheritance, guys. Now suppose, yeah, okay, something it is messed up. Okay, let's see. Parent, see some note, guys. These are the multiple inheritance which we discussed. Now, sorry, parent class can contain a method with same name. There may be chance of two parent classes can contain methods which having same methods name in both classes. Syntactically, this is valid, but if you're trying to call one function which is present in both parent class and child class, it will first print, like it will first verify that in the child class, then only it will go to the parent class. Now let's see. Oh, class super ABC if my function. So now this one just function. Now I'm going to import class. So, oh, sorry, VC functions. Yeah. Now we have two classes, two different classes. Now to use with inheritance, we have to just import the, like I just derive the super class name over here. Now see guys, in both super classes, I have the same method function. That is the same name of the method or function, right? Now if I call, like if I just create the object and if I call the method, so which one might will execute? My object dot, what is that? My function. First, whenever you deal with this one, see, if both superclass and subclass having the same method, then first it will verify in this subclass. If it is not, then if it is not there in the child class, then only it will go superclass. But if it is having both names, means first it will execute this one. That means the superclass method will be inherited. That means it won't execute. Getting point right, like how this one is working. So syntactically it will be correct. You don't get any issues. Why? Because syntactically it doesn't, till you create the object, until you create call the function or like method, it is simply like syntactically it is correct. But when you calling that function or method using object, that time only it will verify which method I need to execute. Note, if parent classes contain a method with same name, then while accessing child class, will consider the other order of the parent class in the declaration of child class. Now, this is only one superclass, right? Now let me create one more superclass because you need to use multiple inheritance, not multi-level. Multi-level means like try. Now multi-level means like father and parent will be there. So let's see. So now ABC one. Let me take one. Now we have two things. Now for here, I'll just give only pass, guys. Instead of that one, I'll just simply pass. So which parent class is executing? Any guess? Don't get confusion here. See how you are given the order for super ABC, right? Now it will call this one. See the order scenarios are given two things. If parent classes contain a same method, this is the method. So in the two super classes, we have same method function name. We just simply inherit both and we're just simply calling the function name. Now, then while accessing child class, we'll consider the order of the parent classes. How we are giving the order here. Super ABCs. Then first it will check here. If it is not there, then only it will go here and check in this other super class. See the scenarios. Class, I assume this one. Here C is super ABC. This one P1, P2, this one guys. This super ABC, super ABC one. Just assume P1's class method will be considered. Then suppose if I just change the order this one. Now suppose parent class another. See this one and this one. Let me change. So based on the order, like how you given the classes while inheriting, so it will work on that. So this is called complete inheritance, guys. So we have one small topic over here that is called method resolution order. In multiple inheritance scenario, talking about only multiple inheritance scenario, initially any specific attribute or method will be searched in the current class. It is searching for any method like any variable in the current class, that is child class. Even current class if not found, then the next search continues into the parent class. Suppose see, if it is, first it will search this one, right? This function, if it is not present in the child class, then only it will go into the super classes. This is the line. If current class if not found, then the next search continues into the parent class in depth, first left to right fashion, like how it goes, like how you give the order from left to right. Searching in this order is called method resolution order, guys. It won't be much important topic, but now it just to for flow how the it is going. So understanding MRV gives us clear idea regarding which classes are executed and which sequence. So we have one method, guys. That is not method actually. It is like function. So is there any predefined method to sequence of execution of classes? Means we can use this dot MRO method resolution order. Now let's see. Suppose let me create one more class over here. I'm just simply giving like this. Okay. For now, install. Let me change that to 1. So now every class has different methods now. Instead of this one, see guys. So instead of creating object, okay, let me comment this. Now I'm going to create any object. Simply, I'll just call the classes. How the MRO is, that is method resolution is working. Now here, see this one, guys. This is the syntax for this one. Class name. What is the class name? Dot MRO. Every class will have one predefined method that is MRO. So that means how the it is flow is going on. Now I want to see how the flow is going for this sub ABC of dot MRO. See this one, see this flow. This complete print, and it is giving in the list format. For now, just see, that is class main sub ABC. First, if you search any variable or any function, then first it will search in the sub ABC, that is in this class. Next, it will go in the super ABC, that is this one. How we giving the order, super ABC. The next one is super ABC 1 of this one, and next is super ABC 2, this one. And last one is just like object. Forget about this one. See this one. How the flow is going. That is called method resolution order. Using this method, we can find out which class is going into this subclass first. We have 3 superclasses and only one subclass, that is called multiple inheritance. So we can use this method resolution order. Suppose, let me change this one. Okay, let it be. I don't want it to move. So in this subclass here, I'm going to call super ABC1. This one, guys, sorry. Here I had 4 classes. 2 are parent classes. Now this one is just normal class. When I use this one like inherit, this will be subclass. Now, instead of this one, is it possible? It's good, right? Is there any issues or like anything we'll get? No, because we are not using this one. We are directly importing here, and this will become like parent to this one. But to this class, this is child class only. Just assume, just like how I can say, is it just assume a grandfather and grandmother. Your grandmother have one son, and your father's sisters might be some sons or daughters will be there, right? We can just, that is called multiple inheritance, or else like we already defined one superclass to one subchild, and we can use this subchild as a superclass to this one. So instead of giving like this again, so simply inherited. See this one, I'm just simply this one. This is also good, right? So now before that, let me give one more print of what is this one, super ABC2. So now how this MRO will work. Suppose so to just check the order how it is working. Okay, it is just okay. Sorry, it is just like variable. Okay, sorry. Now how this is working. So first line it is common again. See the second line how I'm just calling. So this subchild I'm just calling that MRO. Now it will check this order. So this is called method resolution order, guys. So how the flow is going to just verify that we have just a small topic. So this is about complete inheritance, guys. So any questions or any doubts regarding in this one? Questions or doubts, anything? Okay. Okay, this is about good, and I'd like to, okay, anyway, the time is almost, it's okay, right? Okay, I need to discuss about some last assignment, right? I've given the last week I've given to you and you guys submitted. And I don't have that one. Let me get that one sec. I think for this one, it is much enough. I'll just stop.